Okay. Hey YouTube. This stream, I'm just going to play it by ear. Again, if you join my stream, get a question, throw me a question. If not, I'll do whatever. I'm just going to quickly show you how you can make a talking mouth. A nice easy way to do it at least. I'm also going to add the eyes to it so that they move. Yeah, I'll do that. Actually, I'll make eyes and I'll show you how to do the simple way to do eyes. Blinking, I could show you how to make it blink as well, I suppose. Let's start with the mouth. Okay, so if you go there, there, okay. All I've done is duplicated the head, moved to the side. This head is a single piece sculpt. Then I'm going to grab a negative. Now this doesn't have to be precise. It's we'll pick about there. Until the nose disappears. Yeah, that sounds good. And we'll go across to here. I'm not going to recolor it. It is off, so why are you not? There we go. Take it down to the bottom of the nose. Can you not? God, I hate the PlayStation. Hey Sony. Learn how to make a console, will you? Okay, so I've got that and that. They're separated now into halves, if you call that a half. I'll duplicate the closed mouth again, back into there. And I can readjust the top part till the seam's pretty much, as you can see, non-existent. It's still there, like if you come in really close, you can clearly see there's the seam there. But from like here, you're not going to see it. Now these two pieces, we want to grab them and go collide off, ignore gravity off, density is off, friction doesn't really matter. That is just so that they are no longer going to collide with anything like that. We can get them both. And then we're going to go here and attach it. Go zoom in one to the head. So that now these two here are attached to the head. Okay, I can back out now. If I edit this one to be an open mouth, so I'll grab the bottom lip, open it, readjust that a little bit, readjust that a little bit. Move the chin down a little bit, move the jaw down a little bit. Grab a new circle. When it comes to things like this, scale it all the way in, shrink it all the way down, place it while it's got surface snap. Then you can come in, grab it, scale it up to the size you think is about right, and move it to the location you want. So it's going to go to there. Let's rotate it so it aligns properly. We want to grab that and scale it sideways a bit. Rotate it to that. And just adjust until you get it roughly where you feel it needs to be. If Sony had a better fucking... Oh my god. You don't have this issue with the Xbox controllers, but holy crap. And when you try and look for controller lag fixes, it's like, oh, make sure your router's set to this or that's set to that. It's like, seriously, you shouldn't have to do any of that sort of crap. Okay, so we've got an open one and we're going to close one. Now we're going to go in, we're going to go that, rename him to shut, and relabel him to open. Okay. And I'm going to grab a controller, so we'll grab a... generally speaking, if I do anything that's going to put a function, I'll put it in a chip. It makes it easier down the road, so if I get that. Make sure it's attached to the head by scoping in once. And then we're going to get a... Normally, I would say, grab this guy here and run that to there, that to there. But we want this to be working on the voice. So we're going to go controller. Okay, controller sensor to remote. And then we're going to go to this end one here and see this one here. This is what runs off the mic. But we're going to go, to make it easier for everyone to see, there. And if I zoom out and grab just a ball for display purposes. Get about a 35. I'm just going to run the microphone. So I've grabbed the microphone here, and I'm going to run it straight into there. It was set to 35, and it's got to there. So if I now play, every time I talk, is it picking me up? Test, test. Okay, it is picking me up because of the sensitivity of, you can't adjust this and it does my head in. Edit. So that's why normally when I do this, oops, I come into here, grab a calculator, and go greater than, and leave that at 0. So if you look here, you can see it's slightly flashing. Just run it to there, and run it to there. That means that if that is anything more than off, it will flash. As you can see, it's flashing in the background. So if I go to play now, and I speak, you'll see it's flashing. That's the easiest way to do a connection on the mouth thing. I do wish you could just choose, I don't know, anything in, I don't know, something, or even go into here and click on an option here or something and go adjust sensitivity or something like that. I don't know. Just something so that I can make it so that little bit there is amplified. There probably is a way you can do it by plugging a buttload of these things and make an amplifier. But I find if you get that one or that one, this one greater than 0 will detect as I was saying before. Anything over a nothing, it will turn it on. So it doesn't do the nothing to on, it just goes off to on. Off to on. As you can see, there's no in between. It's like flick, flick, flick. This one, if you get this and go into custom remap, where are we? There. I'm going to run that into, hang on, to do it, make sure I don't screw it up. Get that to there and go into there. Go into custom remap. And then if you speak, you should be able to get into here and go, where are we? That. So it attaches to the screen. It's on custom remap. Where is it? That one? No, that's invert. Well, it's not showing. If I go to apply, speak for a little bit, then go back in. Okay, it did work. Okay, those little bumps there are the sound it's picking up of me talking. Because I'm not yelling into the mic. For so long I was getting these issues. Like I didn't know what to do. I'm gonna grab this and turn this to go back there somewhere. Put that to a 1. So in theory, this is where you just gotta play it by ear and hope that it works. If I get that now, in here, place this into here, it should work as you can see, it's moving a little bit when I talk, but it's still not enough. So you just go in there, tweak it until you can get it to there, and it's behind. So I'm going to turn you down to 0 and bring this one down. No, I want that up at there, and I want that up to, what's it? Bouncing around on the thing. And move the top one till it hits the top of the peak. It's about there. No, a little bit more. That looks about right. So in theory now that should work. Oh, it's nearly on full now. Okay, so that has to, oh my god, can't you just remember where I was? Let's move that down to about 50%. We'll see how that one works. Okay. I go to apply. Let's have a look. See. Oh, I haven't wired it up to the light. Okay. Or have I? I have. But it's not. You can see it's still moving, but it's nowhere near enough. Okay. Again. If I put that to 0, and leave it like that. Maybe if I move this one down. No, because that's got to be moved. Yeah, that's better, because now it peaks out. Okay. Now does it work any better? Oh, that's a little bit, yeah, that's a little bit better. So as you can see, it's a light talk, does a light talk. When I hit a peak, like as you can see I hit a peak, it peaks out. So for that particular run through, what are we at? 0.03 there, and standard on that side. That is working. That to me is a better option, but as you can see if you yell, it'll be really bright, but you know what, I'm going to use it. Then I'm going to run this, one to there, to the visibility, to there. So now when I talk, that will become invisible. And what we're going to do is at the same time run a, I've got the same one again, but we're not going to run a, that one, we're going to run that one, we're going to invert. And run it straight from there to there, and then grab this one, and do it to the same spot, which is the visibility. So now they're going to be inverted. So when that one is on, That one will be off. This should solve the, should be the, when you speak, when you are, the mouth will be there. I'm just going to quickly disconnect that because that flashing's annoying. Again, we'll go into here, go to visibility. And then because I snapped it with the grid, not with the precise move, I can just grab this, move one to there, it'll now be in line with where it was. Alright, so now if I don't get a play, when I talk, you can see the mouth is moving. Obviously, they're not exactly, there's a spot where it's like faint. So when the voice is at medium intensity, like if I go, you can see it's both are showing. But when I do a normal talk, for a split second, you can see there's full. To solve that, you go the other way, which would be either down to that. You just run it from there to there, and then run that to there, and then run the yes speak output to the invert. And in this particular case, you could go a not instead of going the invert. So you can have them both saved. I'm going to go from when that is a not. That will do that. So when I talk, it's going to send it out through there. As you can see, it's flashing. So when that is when that's not putting out a signal, it is then going to send out a signal through that one. So therefore, when I go over here now, when I speak, you'll see it just switches between the two. There's no in-betweens. This one here is fine for a basic ba 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 like this one is. If you're doing multiples, so if you're going to have like different shapes, like a closed, an O, like ah, or a oo, you could then have the three and then use this one and tell it, for example, calculator, and grab a equal to, and figure out, the way I do the figuring out, again, there's no right or wrong way, but the way I do it is if I grab a text gadget and go to the equal, go to there, I will run it through there so you can see it. The number on the side, as you can see, it's going up and down. That is showing you how much percentage is getting used. If I then go to edit, actually if I go to there, so we can see exactly what percentage is coming out through the mic. It's equal to, that's equal to, we don't want to go there. I want to do that to there, and then that to there. So we can test the exact numbers, but we want to come into here and go decimals. 2's normally enough. Okay, so now when I'm coming in, and when I talk, you can see it's flickering. I can see about a 2 or a 3. So you'd have to set the calculator. So for example, this one, come into here and go to the bottom number down here. You can see it flickering as I'm talking up here, but we want to go to a 0.0. If I go 0.02, for example, and then I'll do a clone and go top one to a 0.01. This is just so you can see how it would be done, and 0.03. Of course, it's peaking at 0.03 when I talk. Run the output through here, which is technically, actually no, you could run these straight from the mic. You wouldn't have to run it through here. you can run all these from here. Because that's technically amplifying. That's technically amplifier. But we're just going to run it from here through to here. And if we go clone, grab 3 of them, and then run that one to there. Oop, open it up to there. And I've never tried doing this, but we'll find out if it works or not. In theory, the louder I talk, the more lights should light up. Oh, not so much more, but the further along it will go. So if I speak loud, but this one should kick in. If I speak quiet, then this one should kick in. I think that's the way I've done it. Or is it the other way around? It might be the other way around. It's hard to tell, but you can see it's three different states. So you can, the amount of decibels that go into the mic that it's picking up will determine which one flashes. That will work. So for example, if a lot of the time you're speaking, like as you can see, this one here is flashing the most. So I would have that as the standard kind of shape. That one there seems to be flicking the second most, so that could be the R sound. Actually no, R, that one would be the R. If I go oo, oo, that would be oo, and if I go ah, you'd figure it out. You could also use this, for example, if you wanted like a robot and it has the, you know, like or an equalizer on a stereo. You could do the same thing. So, for example, if I go into there, just to make it easier too, of course, this is going to be a different thing. We'll throw them all in a, actually, what are you set at? You're at 1, so I'm going to put you at the bottom, just to keep myself organized. 1, 2, and a 3. And you can go away. So and if I come into here, I'm going to disconnect these wires. So it's no longer through speech, and come into here. I'm going to grab a media molecule, not sound effect, music. Doing this, I wouldn't use a clip, or what is it? That one. I wouldn't use music tracks. Starting points works. Remix clips is your best option, but they don't all work. So if we go to actually melodies, that one for example. Right? If it's got that, the envelope thing, you can then run these into there. Obviously, you'd have to retest, so you do that. And then I would run a trigger, so we'll go right trigger to have it play. And you keep an eye on that. See how it's going to, I can see a 1.4 and a 2.7 or a 2.4. That's what you'd have to set these as. So if we go back in and set you to a, I'll set it to, no, 0.27. 0.24, I think I saw a 0.24 there. And a 0.14. There probably is an easier way to do it. Like for example, like right now I can see that flashing. So if you could get this to play, you could probably figure it out. But if I can now come into here and play it, as you can see, they're flashing. So I am pretty close to it. It is, because it's not a straight from there to there, it's going to it. That's why they are sometimes triggering. So it'll work. Ideally, if you want it to be like a chaser, like so if this one triggers it, these two would be on as well, you would have to run it so that these lines here, we'll grab a champ, we'll go there, there, and there. This is the easiest way to do it. It's the most convoluted way, but it's the easiest way to do it. So that's the highest point. You want the highest point to trigger all the ones below as well. So what you're going to do is grab these out to here. Right, that one goes to there. That one goes to there and to there. And that one goes to there, there, and there. So the top one will now trigger all three. That is the... so that is how you do the like the stereo equalizers. You know, they got the lights that go from the greens to the reds, that kind of thing. So, for example, that would be the red light. That would be the orange, and this one would be green. I'm just trying to make a quick little. There we go, like that. So picture there's the equalizer. Now, obviously, if I made more of them and I set these numbers to a further apart, so let's grab clone tool up. What's that? 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, fuck it, 6 is fine. I'm just gonna run that lead to that one, delete that one, grab this one, run this list to there. I can delete that one. Ideally, in this situation, you would calculate, go in your calculator and go, whatever your top one's going to be, and divide by 5 and work out what your bottom one will be, and make it precise. But I'm just going to wing it. So we've got that many. I'm just wondering if we're going to. It's not really going louder than that. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do is get rid of all these. We'll run some more of them. Okay, and then we'll grab the further up ones. We'll just run that to there. That to there, and that one to the top. And because I don't think it's going to get much louder than what it currently is, if I get that one, which is a 0.27, so if I go the top one here, we'll go 0.3, so 0.30. And then I'm just going to go 0.25. No, I didn't. Oops. Not that one. Bottom one. Oh my god, can I? Thank you. 0.25. Because the top one is where the signal's coming from. So it's saying if the top one is equal to the bottom one. That is currently how it's set. So we don't want to adjust the top. We'll just set that at 0.25. So 0.20. And then we'll go 0.15. 0.10. And you're 0.14, so we'll go 0.05. Okay, and all the lines are running too. We'll go there, there, and again, this one goes there, 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 and there. And just like this. You're just going to make sure that you connect every single one below. and the one across. And don't worry about going, oh, I've accidentally connected the same one twice, because, for example, if I try and connect it to there, as you can see, it won't let it connect because there's already a connection there. So you don't have to, you just, in you go. If you go, it's going to let me connect. I haven't done it yet. Forgetting one, on the other hand, is going to be a pain in the ass. Okay, so in theory now, when I play that, it should bounce up and down. I haven't recolored them, but you get the idea. You could also change that from a equal to a, where is it? There is one here, is it? No, absolute. I think it's that one. I think it's that one. Round down, round up. I'm pretty sure it's that one, which would be if it's around about that, it will trigger. So it's not as precise, but we'll try it and find out. Now if I play it. Okay, so it's not that one. It's not absolute power of. I could go maximum, because I believe that means if it's that or less, it will trigger. No, we want minimum. Maximum, minimum. So the number that's in there would be the minimum number it needs to be before it triggers. I think I'm getting that one correct. Okay, we'll give that one a try. I can't tell whether it's actually chasing or not. If it is, it's super close. If we grab a new song, we'll try with a different song. We'll try that one. And we'll just, again, just to make it easier for myself, I'm going to run all of these through a separate chip. Generally, if I'm testing, this is the way I'll do it. I'll have a chip that connects all these to the one connection, so I just have to do it once. And then I'll also run that line from there to there, and run that line from there to there, and just remember to deactivate that. Okay. Okay, that doesn't look like it's it. It looks like that is not the one we want. We'll try them all. Well, here we are. This one's looking... Okay, this one could work because it's got... I think that's more powered. It's not the one we want, but this is kind of amplified too, so... That one. Okay, it definitely works. The equal to is the best, but the equal to... you could also just run it straight through. Like, you don't have to run it through the thing here, but we want it to... Where are we? If we go, what's that look like? Looks like the same, doesn't it? If I do another one, you see that's making them all the same, doesn't change. If I change it to maximum, now they look the same as well. Absolute value is definitely not going to be it. Yeah, so those two look exactly the same. The amount of black bar that's there is indicating how much power is going through. And the more power it's getting through there, the more it will be lit. So we want it to be, when there's a lot of volume, this one will be all the way up. But when there's a little bit of volume, that this is not to be on at all, and this one's to be all the way up. So that's where we want this to be more of a... we could do less than. If we do less than... Okay, they will be all on because it is not making any noise. When you make... I'm pointing to that, but it's that. When that makes noise, this will then become... Right, so... Oh, because it's so quiet. Okay, yeah, so that's not going to work. That's why greater than works. So if you go greater than. Because greater than is telling you if this noise is greater than the number that this is set at. Like for example, right now it's at 0 because there's no sound coming at it. It's got to be greater than 0.05 coming out of here before this will send a signal through. So that's what we're going to try and get it to work as. Let's have a look, see. That one is working fairly well. If I put it to my mic, so we grab the mic button, which should still be connected to here, and run it across to the same location. When I speak, and it picks me up as a certain volume, which is not going to, is it? Hello, hello, hello. Wow, I have to speak really loud for it to pick me up. I wish this had a mic sensitivity slider in the game. Somewhere in there, like preferences, audio or something like that. The audio, mic volume, music volume, sound effect volume, voiceover volume. Voiceover volume's turned right up. Then why is it not? Why have I got to yell into the mic for it to pick me up? Sound effect volume. I'm assuming that voiceover is the sensitivity, but it's not. It's volume, not sensitivity. It needs to be a voiceover sensitivity or something like that. So for that to pick my voice up, I would have to adjust these to even less. So for example, that would have to be a 0.01 for the bottom under flash when I talk. I'll do it now. 0.01. Okay. So now when I talk, even when I'm talking normal volume, it's picking me up. But then when I yell, you can see it comes all the way up. I do apologize for the ears, but it works the same with mouth. So if that was shut, a little bit open, a little bit more open, so on and so forth. So when you yell, it'll then come up with the big mouth. That is still currently wired up, so as you can see, it's moving. You could also place, for example, edit for robots, for example, grab one of them, place it in where the mouth would be. And then we can run that straight from there to there, line up. And we're not going to make it that color, so we can get rid of that. If we open it up, go to paint tool, there, grab that, paint it, and then grab, we'll say a red, and we'll paint a little This is the easiest way to make a mouth, I find, to grab a circle, elongate it, align it to roughly there, and give it a slight upwards curve, like that. So now when I talk, the mouth will flash, if you don't want to do the whole open and close. So for robots, let's face it, a lot of robots, they don't have open and close mouth, because it makes no sense to put the hinges in and the little motors. So just use a LED or something. That's where that would work. Also too, with the lighting up, if you want, without sculpting two different pieces, you want the back bit not to light up, but the mouth to light up. The easiest way to do that would be grab a black, paint the entire thing black, and then, for example, get a light colored red. Do the mouth in the light colored red. Because black doesn't, like a normal, anybody who does art will understand this. A lit black isn't as noticeable as a lit white. That's why most bulbs are like a white or a yellow, something along those lines, or an orange, because they produce a better light, whereas blacks don't. It is still lighting up, it's just not as noticeable. So that's why it looks like just the mouth is there. Generally speaking, I myself would do a double sculpt. Sculpt the surround, and then get, if I can do it without even doing a double sculpt, I can just get this piece, push it into the mouth, and up there. Oh my god. That one, thank you. Get it so it's lined up around about right. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm not going to go perfect. And now when I talk, it doesn't matter how I've done this sculpt underneath, or how I've painted it. Only the bits you can see will be seen as lit up. And to prevent how you can see the face lighting up, into here, grab the sculpt, turn that one off. So now when it'll light up, but it won't emit the glow. Same with casting shadows. If you turn that one off, this one's a little harder to see because I haven't that object there itself would not emit a shadow. So if there's a light source coming from over here somewhere, it will not place a shadow down here somewhere. If that is there, even if that is invisible, is that turned? Yes, it is. If it's invisible like that, you can't see it. So, like for example, if I now go to play, the mouth will open. You'll still see there's light getting. It's still lighting up because I haven't changed the other one over, but it won't. It will, because it's always on now. It will always show a shadow. So where are we? Was it there? Yeah, cast shadows. It will always cast a shadow. That means it will never cast a shadow. So if we go in there now, the inside of the mouth will look a little different because it's technically not visible. That color you're seeing is the color of the inside of the head, but because it's lighting up, you can see how it's like not dark in there anymore because the ball is lighting up, but it's not emitting light because it's on that one. If I do that one, it will always be emitting light. So the inside of the mouth, let's see if I can get in there, should always be lit up. Is it going to let me in? No, it's not. Not with a buttload of trial and error. Yeah, so the inside of the mouth will always be lit, just not emitting light. I mean, like emitting the visible. It will be emitting the light. That means only while it's on like visibility, so turning that back to there, it will then do it. Trying to explain this stuff simply, but it's like a pain in the butt. Okay, so I'll leave that there. If I get Actually, I'll leave it all green. So if anyone downloads it, they can play around with it. Because I done one, I think it was episode 1 or 2. I forgot to leave a save. So I'm going to try and remember to do it this time. Okay, so with the double mouse. Again, you don't, well, actually I will delete. I'll delete him. Yep, try that again. Did I? Tell me I didn't delete that. Good, I didn't. Okay. Okay, what else have we got? This mouth technique too can be used on multiple things. For example, let's quickly, nothing major. Then we'll grab, turn that off. Put a little bit of blend. Just going to quickly sculpt up a basic hand. So, finger, finger, and finger. Let's place it more of a, oops. I'm not going to get too much into it. Okay, like that. The hand is a little too plump. So we'll do that. Okay, there's the straight open hand. But just so you want to add a fist example hand. Go into here. Go to grid to make it easy for yourself. Move it back. Doesn't matter how many. Then you can turn precise back on again. Scope in. Depending on whether you want it to be left or right hand on which way you'd go. But let's say it's the right hand. And this is the palm. I'm just going to grab these. Again, I'm not going too much into it, just so you can see what I'm doing. Like that, like that. And get the thumb. Like that. We'll go there and do a little bit of adjustments. Again, not too much into it, but don't want it to look weird. Okay. Then you turn the grid back on and move it to there. And while the grid is still on and the straight one is highlighted, scope in one and leave it like that. Now if you go out, select that one and select that one. If you go, oh no, that's not going to work because, okay, that's not going to work because of, that needs to, they need to be attached to a base object, so the forearm or whatever, or the palm without the fingers. Because if that goes invisible, then that will go invisible if it's attached to it. But if you go like that, straight hand, curved hand. So now if we come, I'll just use this same one, because why the hell not, and we'll go, we'll do a yes and a no. That's the way I'll look at them, is a yes and a no. That is a, if right trigger is pulled, curve the fingers. If they are not, if the right trigger is not pulled, show the straight palm. So now if it's straight, and if I pull the right trigger, because it's going through the trigger, you can have both by just half pulling the trigger. That's why on the other one I was doing the what do they call it? I can't remember what they call it now. The equalizer-ish thing. That stuff. That's why I was doing that. So you're not getting it. So it's when it gets to a certain calculators, like when it gets to the point, if you get equal, for example, if you put that as equal 1. So when the trigger is full, it will activate. And then swap that to there. Now when I pull the trigger halfway, you can hear the sound going, but it hasn't triggered. It's not until I get to the full point that it curves. But that is working rather well. Because I have my voice and the music running through it, when I speak, it'll light up, and it'll also light up with the music as well. Any music that has the envelope, or any sound that has the envelope. So I'll show you again the envelope symbol. Go into here. Oop. That symbol there is the envelope symbol. Oop, wrong one. Close. That one. That's the envelope. It's filtering here, but that's the envelope symbol. So anything that has it, there it is there. Anyone that has that symbol in the in these, we'll try that one. See, that's got the envelope symbol, so we can use that one as well. The easiest way to do it, again, just run the activator to the bottom, and that's wrong one, that one. Run the envelope into these, and again, remember that top one has the highest number here, and the bottom one has the lowest number. Technically, the bottom one could be at 0. You could have that at if you go that to 0, any noise, the most minute change from 0 will activate the bottom one. It means it's the most sensitive. So that will trigger no matter what the slightest noise is. That, why it's playing, is because I forgot to deactivate the ones I'm not using. Okay, so now if I play it, as you can see, it's flashing more often now because I've got it set to 0.00. So if it's 0.01, it will activate, whereas before it would have to be 0.02 or higher. If I play the music, you can see the differences. Same with the drum beats. Go in here, back out. We'll grab. That one there's got a nice, decent change in it. Again, checking, it's got the envelope, so it'll work. There, to there, there, to there, and turn that off so it's not playing in the background. Yeah, so no matter the noise, that bottom will turn on because it's anything over a nothing will trigger it. And you could turn the sensitivities down so that they're more sensitive or less sensitive. If that's got a higher number, that means there's going to be more noise coming through. You can also, as with the voices going through both, you can get, to make it easy for myself again, let's grab another one of these and run from the trigger to there. Let's throw in multiples. We'll trigger those 3. Oh, that one's still wired in there. Is it? No, that's wired to the number. And then the tester. That can be deleted if you don't want to use it anymore. So right now, pulling the right trigger will activate that one, and that one. So and you can see it's like mid-range on that because I checked with the numbers, and about where that one is set would be about mid-range. If you want it to be multiply used, get to do testing for that scenario, you'd find one that's the loudest. Like you come in here, which one makes the most? That one's pretty loud. That one's nice and loud. Again, it's not the most bass. Like that one's got a good amount of bass, but it's not the most amount of bass. It's the most amount of decibels, because that's the only thing it picks up on is decibels. How much volume is coming through, not how much bass or how much treble. It's how much volume. That is what that is looking at, is the volume, not the bass or anything. You can fake it by going into the equalizer and stuff like that, but for ease, it's like I don't bother. So I ain't going into that much stress of trying to figure out exactly what things to tweak, and it'll be 0.001 adjustments. It's like with the Sony controllers being so pot, I'm not going to bother with trying to do that. Wait, what? It's waving, but why is it not playing? Because I was in edit mode. Duh. Yeah, just to quickly show you, I'm going to call this one at an hour because no one's watching again. So to bring up that one, to see the amount of trigger you're doing, that was running from the trigger. So if you go to there and go to there, this will now register how much trigger pressure. So as I pull the trigger, you'll see the numbers go up. That's me slowly pulling the trigger. If I pull it all the way in, it's a 1.0. That is the way I do my testing when it comes to, like, I need to test, like, puppet movement works the same. If you want to see how fast your puppets move, run a, I just quickly whip it out. Grab a puppet. Okay, and we want to go into here. And we want to grab in here. We're going to grab number. Again, remember to put it to 0.2. You can put a 0.3. It'll give you a lower adjustment. And because there's already one in that location, we'll move it up a bit. We're going to run it from, where is it? Movement strength. We're going to run that into there. So when that puppet is possessed, if you look, when it moves, it doesn't have to be like it's not its walk speed, it's its movement speed. You can see how fast that puppet is moving. That's its full speed. That's its nothing. And if you just turn around, it goes half speed on the turnaround. That's how you can test, like, if you want to make it so that it does a certain animation when your puppet is moving at half speed. That's at 2/3. That's about half, and then it's at 0. That's how you do your testing of speeds and stuff like that. I will leave that puppet in there as well so you can fiddle with that. Okay, I will close these down. I will rename this chip for you there. Okay, and I'll even change its logo to that. There you go. So when if you're playing with it, that is where the thing is. By all means, come in here. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to play it. Come in here, adjust it, choose the different things, adjust the speed, choose the different ones up here. Just remember, the input is there. So whatever sound is coming in, or whatever measurement is coming in, goes to the top. It is to be then this. So whatever that is, if it's like here, it's greater than. So if that is greater than that, the equals will put out a signal. That's the way this particular calculator works. So for example, if you go equals, the number that comes in here has to be exactly the same number as the one that's here to put out a signal. as it is if it's greater, so if this number is bigger than this number, it will put out a signal. If it was less than, if this number is smaller than this number, it will put out a signal. That's how the calculator works. I'll move this is nice and close so you can see them all together. Okay, so if you play it, right trigger does the hand, your mic, or if I'm going to play, you better see it. So right trigger, even if it's not possessed, will play the music and do the hand. The bottom number is your trigger, top number is the puppet's movement. The mouth is wired up to just the mic, so the music's not making the mouth move. By all means, help yourself to wiring that up if you want, and by all means, use the head on your own characters. If you don't want to use the moving mouth on your own personal characters, but you want to use the sculpt, you can grab the sculpt separately or scope in once, pull that out, scope all the way out, remove the chip, and while in edit mode, just grab that square and delete it. The whole thing is still there. In fact, you know what? I'll leave the full head next to it. No one joint, no questions, no nothing. So I'll call it. Again, live after me. If you're in dreams, get stuck, throw me a message. Say, dude, I'm getting stuck on this issue. If I can help, I can help. My weak points, if I have to say what my weak points are in the audio sections. So, where are we in here? This part. If I have to play around with that, or there. Like if I have to do, where is it? All this timeline, playing music, stuff like that, I'm weaker in that area. I know how it works, but it's just I'm stronger in the sculpt and the like the detail area. The chip work, programming, I'm okay at it. If I have to give myself a score out of 10, 7.5, 8 out of 10. I'm no expert, but the length of time I've been playing it, all the shit I've been learning, I'm getting better. Again, practice. That's the best thing I can suggest. Even if you make the jankiest thing ever, so long as you take something out of it and learn like how a certain thing works, it's a positive. So yeah, that's my suggestion. Don't be too hard on yourself. Even if you make a mistake. Also, if you feel your creation is, I love this creation, but you're running out of space or something like that, my suggestion, upload the creation as a private creation and delete it off your hard drive. Replace it with a new creation. And if worst comes to worst, what you can then do is I'll do a I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second with the saves. I'll quickly save this. So go there, quick save, element, contraption. Okay, help stream, episode 4. I believe that's correct. Okay, and back out. Here you could say yes and just straight away release it. I've just got into the habit. I'll say no, I'll back out, go all the way to the location and go, okay, let's edit its description. So stream 4, Uh, EQ and sculpt swap. Again, these two here, if you're going to use them on your character, you could group them together and place it on the hand, and then every time you do the thing, it'll change its pose. But my recommendation, make your own sculpts and add your own chip and try doing it that way. It will make it, you'll learn better, learn easier. Okay, now we'll release it. That, and that, and go yes. Making it is forever. Again, you can tick that and say this never pops again, but I leave it on so I get, oh shit. Yep, okay, no, I do want to release it. Last minute chance to say no type thing. Okay, it's now released. So I can now go delete it, go yes, and yes. And as I was saying before, if you're running out of space, upload them as a private creation, then go create new, do that, then import them. So for example, I want the head, and then I can go into here and grab another one that I've saved privately, for example that one. It's going to load, there we go. I can save them all in the same thing, and then save that as a single save. Doing it this way, uploading it as a private save, then anytime you use that creation from the uploaded version, when you re-download it, you will no longer get, if I go to delete, you will see like all these little exclamation marks here. They are, it's a bad design, but they want to implement it this way, they're going to implement it this way. It's like an anti-pirate protection basically. So if you use someone's creation or you use your own creation in a separate creation, so for example, those two there are the same creation, just that one's been edited more. That one's got dance moves and stuff like that, that one doesn't. That exclamation mark is saying that this creation is linked to that creation. So if I delete this one, I have to delete that one. If you do it through here. If you do what I was saying before, so for example, if I didn't edit this one from that save, but uploaded this as a private creation, then edited the private uploaded one to make that, that wouldn't be there. But doing it this way, I would have to delete that and that to get rid of this, unless I come in and grab this one and then go across to there. Enter it. I can then select, for example, that and delete it there. If I do that with all three of these, that will delete that save, but leave this save here. It's a convoluted way of them making it so that if people don't know how to do this, go into there, scroll across to there and deleting that, they would have to delete that and that, but they don't want that deleted, they only want that deleted. But because that was created from that, you technically have to delete them both, unless you do it through its hierarchy, its versions, its history, what are you going to call it? Yeah, so if you want to save space on your hard drive, get your creations. You don't even have to upload it to the thing. You can literally just start a new one. All right, there's a new one. Go to there and go to your private creation. So I could grab, do I have a private creation? Oh, that one, for example. Plonk it in. Grab another one that's private. Private. That's completely, that one. They're completely different puppets. Neither of them are publicly released. If I then save this here, I'll just do it quickly. Characters. We'll go multi. Save. This here will save you space because you're only allowed a certain number of saves. So they're both now in the same save, so I back out. But if I go into here now, 256, I'm now full. I cannot make another creation. But because I've done those two in the same one, I can, if I come to here, for example, and find that first one down. Is it that one? I think it was that one. I'm pretty sure it was that one. But it hasn't got the explanation mark there. See, that one now has that because it's in that save. If I now come in here and go to the ones that I know I use, so for example, that one. Oops, no, back out one. Go into the ones I know I used. Not in the delete function, but in the normal one. Go, for example, there. Delete those two. And come into this one and go across to the other one I used, which was that one. Go across one. Delete those three. The more edits you've made, the more saves you've done, it'll be longer. Delete all them. That will get rid of that one. And get rid of that one. And those two will be consolidated or plonked into that save. So it's gone from having those two characters take up 2 saves to those 2 characters take up 1 save. It's not going to help with that, but as you can see, I'm only halfway full on that, on the overall size. You're allowed a gigabyte. I'm at half a gig. So the issue isn't with me because most of my creations are fairly small. They're like 1 character or something like that. I don't need this save, so I can delete it. Yes. Delete that save. Yes. It's gone. So that's how you can save space. Again, if you upload it, make sure you do it as a private creation. If you don't want other people to be able to see it. If you're just using it to clear up space and stuff like that. Because there is a lot of times, in fact, if I go in there now, it's annoying as holy crap, but there's nothing you can do about it. For example, if I scroll across, it'll load. That's not a bad example, but it's smaller. There's 2 there and they look exactly the same. They're probably just saving space maybe, or there is something to it. I know it's slightly different, but you know what I mean, like you'll find that there's like 50,000. Let's see if I'm going to quickly find one. Because this is one of my biggest annoyances when you're trying to look through creations. It's not going to have any, is it? If I go to character, I'm pretty sure what character was released recently that had like. It's not gonna. Nah, it's not gonna be any. But there was one. It was like 10 different. It was kind of like that. Basically, it was a little bit less than that. But it was like a blank puppet. But it was like 10 of them. They were all basically exactly the same creation, but they just uploaded like 10 times. And you got to, excuse me, you got to scroll through all them just to find something that you're interested in. I'm not going to go looking too long. Like for example here, that's just a plain blank puppet, as you can see. So somebody's obviously done something, played around with it and released it. It's like, but I don't want to see it. I can get that anytime I like. There's another blank puppet, but it says giant, so he's probably rescaled it. So if he rescaled it and then he does, okay, 50% bigger, then 100% bigger, and he releases them both, I've got to scroll through all them. But if he makes them private, then you won't have to scroll through them all. And just release the ones that make sense to be releasing. So if we're like, the Bushman, he could have made like a remix of Oro. So he's obviously remixed this from that. So he could have had like 5 different saves between the last one and this one. He just didn't release them all. And if there's a creation that you liked, but it's not, yes, that's an awesome creation, and you don't want people saying, oh, this guy's crappy work, release it as private, or release it as hidden. That way you can still access it. It's not taking hard drive space. It's not filling up your let me get back in there again. It's not filling up your limits, because you got 2 limits here. You got size, a gigabyte, and saves of 256. Again, you want to call it live after me. If you get stuck, throw me a message. If you got any suggestions or need help, and like, throw me a message. Say, look, dude, stuck. Can you help? If I can, I'll reply. Yes, I can. What do you need? That sort of stuff. If I can't, it's like, dude, that's the area I get stuck on myself. We can work it out together, or whatever. I'm gonna call it, guys. Take it easy. I will catch you all next time.